Yo, it's your boy Jay Best, and welcome back to the Straight to the Point podcast, season 2, episode 2. Y'all got a good one for you today. I am inviting my part-time partner in crime, Logan McDougald, to the show, and he will give his reaction to my NFL pyramid. We will also do our prediction playoff picture. We'll also do our top 3 MVP candidates, and then our top 10 players in the league, and we'll end the show with our pick for Thursday night's game, the Lions versus the Chiefs. All right. But as always, I want to thank God for waking me up this morning and allowing me to talk about sports, which is something that I love to do. Without him, I would not be here right now. Real quick, 2 quick things I want to remind y'all about. Make sure y'all go into the comment section below this video and make sure you follow the Him Apparel account on Instagram. Okay, that's my family's Christian brand. We're starting to sell shirts. Production is starting back up again because we have a little mishap, but we're getting that started up. So make sure you go check out that Instagram account. And also, if you don't follow the Straight to the Point podcast account, make sure you go and follow that as well. The link is in the comment section. So I'm about to bring my brother from another mother, like I said, my part-time partner in crime, Logan McDougald, to the show. Logan,
What's up?
what's up, man? How you doing?
Doing well, man. It's a great day to have a great day. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up, man. That's good to hear, man. How you feel about being on the Straight to the Point podcast?
Feel great. There's a little bit inside of me that feels bad. Just because I'm joining your show, and then I feel bad because I know I'm going to come in here and embarrass you week to week, and I would hate to have to do that in front of you and an audience, but I know it's what the people want, so that's what I'm here to bring.
You know what? I don't think that's what we rehearsed on you saying. I don't think you're supposed to come up here so confident. But since you did, now I got to put you in your place throughout this show. Now, I
Well,
do want to say real quick that this dude was literally like my mentor throughout high school. He played quarterback in high school. He played a year ahead of me, okay? So he's always a year older. And for a couple of years, he was always better than me. I would not lie. He was better than me. But this is a whole new platform, but we not on the field no more. Okay, we behind the mic, we on camera. All right, this is my thing. All right, so you gonna take the back seat to me up here. I took the back seat to you for what 3 years in high school. Not doing it no more. All right,
I love it.
let's go ahead and get this thing started. So,
Love
the other day I did my NFL pyramid. Logan, you saw it. What is your reaction to it?
it. So I got a couple things wrong with that. Surprise. First thing, I had too low teams. I thought you had too low. 49ers. Um, don't think they should have been in that second tier. I think they should be up one. When you look at their roster head to toe, what they've done with subpar quarterback play, they've basically made that to where anybody can come in there and play quarterback. And
Shanahan, man.
yeah, can be successful. Moving on, the Bills, Josh Allen. Um, I think people forget about how good their roster is. Von Miller got hurt. Tremaine Edmonds did leave, but Milano will have a bigger role in that defense. Tre'Davious White came back from ACL tear last year. He should look more like himself. And then both of those safeties were banged up all year. So health was a big problem with them. The Chiefs. Don't know how the Chiefs aren't at the top of the list. Defending champs. Andy Reid. Yes, Travis Kelce's hurt, but nothing serious from what I know. And that bad man, Patrick Mahomes, baddest man on the planet. Everyone's chasing the Chiefs. They should be at the top in the discussion there. And then a couple two that might be a surprise to some people. The first one, I have the Green Bay Packers. We don't know about Jordan Love. I'm kind of rolling the dice on him a little bit. Sitting behind Aaron Rodgers, who's probably the best quarterback of our generation, other than Tom Brady. They got a roster. I mean, they got dudes all over that defense. They got a great O-line. They got 2 great running backs. They got young receivers, young tight ends. And I think they're getting slept on a little bit. And you'll hear a lot about this. The Atlanta Falcons. I am big on the Atlanta Falcons this year. Due to their additions in the offseason, defensively, they beefed up that D-line. They added Jesse Bates, Jeff Okudah in the corner. They have A.J. Terrell. That O-line's good. They got Kyle Pitts, who did not have a great year last year. Think that had to do with a lot of quarterback play. I think Ritter will come in and do some good things. And then Bijan Robinson, I think, going to be a stud. Running backs that come in have had major success over the years with Saquon, Zeke, Leonard Fournette, CMC, other guys. I think he's going to fill right into their shoes, if not excel that, due to the play style that Arthur Smith brought over from Tennessee. And then Drake London, expecting him to have an increased role and a better year as he gets older. Now, who do I have that's too high on your list? The Broncos, number one. Yes, Sean Payton, offensive guru. Drew Brees breaking all them records. Well, Drew Brees ain't in Denver. And from what I saw last year, I got two words for you. That is the reason why I think you have him too high. First one's Russell. Second one's Wilson. Until he proves or changes what he did last year, which Sean Payton's there to do.
Yeah.
I think they should be down one. L.A. Rams. Matt Stafford, Aaron Donald, Cooper Kupp, studs. Okay, Donald and Kupp, you can argue Donald's the best at his position. You can argue Kupp with Triple Crown was hurt last year, and then Stafford's a dog. Other than those three guys, I mean, they have no depth on their team whatsoever. None. O-line's not great. I mean, defense as a whole is not great. They got a ton of young guys. Don't think they're going to be great this year. Think you had them too high. And then the Jaguars. I think they're a product of their division. I don't think overall that they're that great of a team roster-wise. And I think they're built similar to a 7-on-7 football team. They got weapons galore. But up front, I'm not high on either side of the ball. And to win games in this National Football League, you got to get after the quarterback and you got to protect the quarterback. And I think they're lacking in that ability. And then last but not least, at the top of your pyramid,
you don't want to do it.
The New York Jets.
You don't want to do it.
Don't think they should be up there right now. I think they're going to have a great year. I don't think they should be ahead of the Chiefs. Don't think they should be ahead of the 49ers. And don't think they should be ahead of the Buffalo Bills. Those three teams have sustained success in the last couple of years that Jets haven't got a whiff of since we were probably in elementary school. And like you say, Jets, Jets, they are still the New York Jets. So until they prove us something, and yes, they won 8 games with Zach Wilson. Yes, Aaron Rodgers is a bad dude coming over. But also, they don't have an O-line, from what I know. They can't stay healthy. They can't protect. And Aaron Rodgers ain't getting any younger. Yeah. Defense will be a top 10 defense, lock in, make your bets. Would not be surprised if they finished all the way at the top. But yeah, I got the New York Jets. I think you're we need to slow the brakes down a little bit on the New York Jets there, Jalen Bess.
You know what? I respect what you said because I'm doing what I'm projecting this, right? Because we haven't seen them play together yet. We haven't seen Aaron Rodgers in the Jets uniform. So I'm technically saying that they are going to be, right? They haven't proven anything yet. I got it. I respect it. Let me defend a couple of my points. Atlanta. For some reason, what you just said is pulling me towards Atlanta right now, right? But the reason why I put them so low in the pyramid is because I'm worried about their future. That first round pick with Bijan Robinson it's just rubbing me the wrong way. It wasn't a need, it was a want. They got plenty of needs on that team. They went and they got a want. They had a 1,000-yard rusher last year with Tyler Algier, right? They had a top 3 rushing offense. Why you spend the first round pick on a running back? I believe that Jalen Carter was on the board when they got Bijan Robinson, if I'm not mistaken. So you can go Jalen Carter, anybody else but Bijan. Bijan's going to be tear up the league. Like you said, he might be that next Saquon, that next Zeke, that next C-Mac. But I just don't think it was a need. All right, secondly, with the Broncos, okay, I'm not a believer in the team. I think they can be a 7-9 kind of team, right? I'm sorry, 8-9 kind of team, somewhere around there. I think Russ will be, he has to go nowhere but up, right? He can't be any worse than he was last year. So I'm assuming he's going to be just a little better. That's why I had them in the middle of the pack. The Rams was a respect thing. Okay, I respect Aaron Donald, respect Cooper Kupp, respect Matt Stafford. I see them at worst going like 6-11, maybe 7-10, something like that. And to your point about the Jets, man, the Jets to me, I am completely sold on the Jets. Okay, the Jets to me, you have a team that went 7-10 last year with no QB. All right, and then you add that's the real bad man on the planet. Okay, you said Patrick Mahomes is the baddest man on the planet. I disagree. It is Aaron Rodgers. On this show, Aaron Rodgers is the baddest man on the planet. You add him to the mix, and I think they can go way better than um, 7-10. So I'm looking at like a 13-4 kind of year. I think he can add those wins to the win column. All right, so those are my defenses. Like I said, the Chiefs, I love them. The 49ers though, I love them. But for my top tier, I picked one from each conference who I think will be in the Super Bowl. That's my sport.
Okay. Okay.
All right, and I love Kyle Shanahan. I love the 49ers, but the Eagles, man, I don't know. What I saw last year, I think it's going to carry over to this year. They lost a couple pieces on defense, right? They lost T.J. Edwards. They lost Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. They lost a couple of pieces, but I do think the addition of Jalen Carter, the addition of Nolan Smith to that D-line, and Jalen Hurts, to me, is going to go up from last season. I think that's why I put them over the 49ers. Love Kyle Shanahan, but I had to go with the Eagles, all right? So next, Logan, your next assignment is to show us your playoff picture prediction.
Boom. All right. Starting out with the AFC here. Easy money. First round bye. Kansas City Chiefs. Go ahead, book it. It's going to happen like it always does every year. AFC runs to Kansas City. Then I got the Bengals. They're going to win their division. 2 words, Joe Burrow. As long as he's there, as long as health is on their side, if he's the quarterback, I'm betting on them to win their division. I got the New York Jets. I am a believer in them. I just don't think that they're set in stone better than a couple of teams that have proven it. Have them winning their division. In Jacksonville. AFC South is god awful. I'm a Texans fan, and it's by far the worst division in football. Not even close. They will win that division, unless Anthony Richardson turns into Cam Newton and they stay healthy. But that's not going to happen. Then I have your beloved Pittsburgh Steelers getting in the wild card this year. I do think that if health is on their side, I think their defense will be absolutely outstanding. I think their offensive line will be better. I think they'll get back into ground and pound Pittsburgh Steelers power run. And then they got weapons, again, galore. Might not be to the extent of 49ers or
no doubt.
Even Cincinnati. But, I mean, you got a plethora of tight ends. You got 2 great running backs. You got George Pickens, Allen Robinson they trade for, and Deontay Johnson, who has proven to be a good NFL receiver at Kenny Pickett's disposal, but I don't want to give them too much credit on your show. And then I have the Buffalo Bills. I mean, they've been in it every year. Josh Allen, Sean McDermott ain't going nowhere. Von Miller won't start out the year. I think that's going to hurt them defensively, but once he gets back, they'll get rolling. And then last but not least, I have the Baltimore Ravens. Defensively, don't think they'll be as great. They still have guys of Marlon Humphrey. They got Williams, and they got Kyle Hamilton in the back. Roquan, and they got a decent D-line. I am very high on how I know you're a fan of Lamar Jackson is going to produce this year. I think the new offense and the amount of weapons he has around him is going to open up the field for him like he's never seen. Zay Flowers.
I have a question real quick. Logan.
Okay.
First of all, clearly you haven't watched this show because you know I'm not a fan of Lamar Jackson. Okay, you know that for a fact. All right. Secondly, Lamar and the Ravens has been successful over the past couple of years, right? In terms of wins versus losses, right? Not necessarily great in the playoffs, not a Super Bowl team at all, but they have more wins than losses. They've been above 500 almost every year. All right. And in that span, the offense was run first, right? Also run with Lamar Jackson, and then use Mark Andrews in the play action game, correct?
Yep.
If that strategy worked, okay, for some reason, of course, you pay Lamar Jackson, so you want him to show off his arm more. Do you think that changing that scheme from run first to pass first is going to affect his game at all?
I wouldn't necessarily say that's changing it to pass first, but I think the offense that Greg Roman brought to Baltimore, um, yes, he won an MVP, but I think it handicapped their ceiling as a team in a way. Because, I mean, it's just like any team that doesn't have any receivers, what are you going to do? You're going to put 11 in the box. Like, you're going to put everybody up there to stop the run. And granted, we all know Lamar Jackson can't throw like Joe Burrow, Pat Mahomes. I'm not here to say that. But he has never Mark Andrews is a great tight end. He's never really had weapons to throw the ball to. Um, he's had average receivers. Hollywood Brown was good. He's not great. And I'm not sitting here like OBJ's coming back from the New York Giants days and all these guys are good. But I think the ability that with having Zay Flowers, Bateman, Odell, Mark Andrews all on the field at the same time, what does that do? It creates more space. More space, more room to get open. More space, more room for Lamar Jackson to get out there and run and make people miss, which is scary in my opinion. And I think that offense with J.K. coming back healthy, O-line as long as they stay healthy, I think I would not be surprised if that offense finishes number one point scorer in the NFL with the playmakers they have on that side of the ball.
Sounds good. I want to see it. But go ahead.
And then so those are the people I have making. I got the first round. I got the Bengals beating the Ravens. Just got done talking about the Ravens. I'm very high on Joe Burrow. I think Joe Cool, anytime he's in a pressure moment, he will shine. And then the Bengals have had great success against the Ravens secondary, and they put up godly numbers against them. So I would have the Bengals over the Ravens. Next game, I have the Jets, your New York Jets, beating the Buffalo Bills. I think around this time, their defense wins championships around this time. I think that defense is going to be cooking. Rodgers doesn't really turn the ball over. They got two good backs running the football, and then Garrett Wilson throw the ball to. I think what they got going on, I think they're going to beat the Bills. And then I said I wouldn't say it again, but I got your beloved Steelers beating the Jacksonville Jaguars.
And before you continue, guys, I am not making him say this.
Not at all.
I'm not doing it. I'm not paying him to say this or nothing. He believes just like I believe. Go ahead.
Actually. But I do have the Steelers beating Jacksonville, and I think this comes to a personnel aspect. I think you got guys like T.J. Watt and even Hayward up there. I mean, and even just Minka and then the plethora of linebackers y'all have and Pat P. I just think physicality will win, and I am not a believer in Jacksonville's D-line and O-line, and I think that takes the Steelers past the Jaguars. Next round, I got the Chiefs beating the Steelers. Easy. I don't think that's a discussion.
I respect it.
And then I got the Bengals beating the Jets. I think the Garrett Wilson being the only high caliber guy to throw the ball to, and their O-line not being necessarily top tier comes into effect against a Bengals defense. Yes, they lost Jesse Bates. Don't really have high caliber guys. But that defense has played well the last couple of years. And I think the Bengals are going to out the Jets there. And then I think it's going to be Bengals-Jets in the AFC Championship game, just like last year. I think having Burrow and Mahomes in the AFC Championship game, nobody can really argue against that. And those are the two QBs I trust more in those two teams. And I got the Bengals beating the Chiefs. I think they got some bad blood last year. I think they'll find a way to win. And they have played the Chiefs very well. And I think they're going to knock them out this year in the AFC Championship game. Flipping over, NFC. Big fan. I got the Niners winning. I don't think that division's going to be nothing much. Cardinals not really great. Rams, I don't think it'll be good. Seahawks will compete. I got the Niners getting the first round bye. NFC South, I got the Saints having a big year. I think they're a great, well-rounded football team, top to bottom. I think Derek Carr is going to silence some doubters a little bit with the weapons he has. I think they're going to beat up on a lower-end NFC South. Then I got the Eagles winning their division, top to bottom, one of the best rosters in football. Jalen Hurts, weapons galore, D-line galore, great O-line, self-explanatory there. And then the Detroit Lions, I think they're going to come out hot this year. They finished out hot last year. they were the reason the Packers didn't make it to the playoffs. Your beloved Aaron Rodgers.
Very
I think Dan
unfortunate.
got them guys going. I think they made. Now, some people want to knock on maybe drafting Jahmyr Gibbs high, Jack Campbell high, the tight end out of Iowa kind of high, and just kind of turning heads a little bit. Why they maybe could have waited a little bit.
Yeah.
But I love the aggressiveness that their GM plays in free agency. Who would have thought C.J. Gardner-Johnson was going to Detroit?
Yeah, exactly.
Cam Sutton, guy that came from your Pittsburgh Steelers. And I think that their ability to find mismatches offensively with the weapons that they have, I think their offense is going to be limitless. And don't think their defense will be great, but I think it's hard to believe they won't be better than last year. And they still almost made the playoffs last year, as bad as their defense was. So I have them winning the NFC North. And then I got the Falcons making the wild card. Like I said earlier, I think Arthur Smith's a great coach. I think they are going to run the buttload out of the football, and then Kyle Pitts, Drake London, play action on the shoulders of Desmond Ritter. I'm rolling the dice on Desmond Ritter. I think he's going to be better than Mariota, which is same as that defense from last year. Rolling the dice a little bit, but I believe in the weapons that they have, and then their secondary defensively and their beef that they have up front defensively as well. Then I got the Seahawks. I think a very underrated roster in Seattle. You got Geno Smith, Kenneth Walker, Zach Charbonnet, the running back they drafted, Noah Fant, DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, Jackson Smith. Good O-line. They had 2 rookie tackles that played great. And then defensively, Jamal Adams can come back. They got Julian Love from the Giants. They got Devin Bush, Jordan Brooks. You got Bobby Wagner, Nwosu. I mean, they got plethora. Devin Witherspoon, the 5th overall pick. Would not be surprised if they have a deep playoff run this year. And then the Cowboys. We both know we both don't like the Cowboys. As smart people would not got them make it. They're too talented of a roster. As long as health is on their side, though, they'll be in the playoff picture. NFC is not great. Then we get in the first round. I got the Cowboys beating the Saints. I think the Saints, record-wise, will result in their division play. I think the Cowboys are a better football team than the New Orleans Saints. With their top-tier talent of guys like C.D. Lamb, Tyron Smith, Zach Martin, Micah Parsons, Trayvon Diggs, I think top talent takes over there. I got the Eagles beating the Seahawks. I think similar to the Jaguars, I don't think the Seahawks have enough big bodies up there, and I think the Eagles' line of scrimmage battle takes them there. I got the Lions winning a playoff game. The Atlanta Falcons. I think the Lions are just a better team, and I think this year the Lions are going to come out ready to prove something. And I'm trusting Dan Campbell on that one. Simple
Yep,
enough.
that is a Dan Campbell fan right there, y'all.
Love Dan Campbell.
We love him to Dan Campbell.
And then next round, I got Niners beating the Cowboys. I'm not ever booking the Cowboys to win more than one playoff game. Won't ever happen.
As long as who is their quarterback?
As long as that star is on the side of their helmet. It has nothing to do with Dak Prescott. As long as the star
has everything to do with Dak Prescott.
What can go wrong will go wrong. Thank you, Gary Jones. And then I got the Eagles beating the Lions. I think the Lions hit their road stop here. Eagles too talented of a team. Jalen Hurts is their quarterback. Offensive line, D-line. Same thing I've been saying. I think the Eagles win that one. And then just like I had the AFC, I have an NFC rematch. Now, I think the Eagles had a better roster than last year. They might be better this year. Not sure. I think Javon Hargrave, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, T.J. Edwards, I think it starts to show when they start playing top-tier teams. And, I mean, if the Niners have a quarterback that's able to throw a football, that game is different. And we all know that. We all know that. I got the Niners getting bad blood there. In the Super Bowl 23 rematch, I got the Bengals and the Niners. And at the end of it all, I have the San Francisco 49ers beating the Cincinnati Bengals. I think Kyle Shanahan finally does it. I think Brock Purdy, Mr. Relevant, storybook ending to the beginning of his career, and it just sets him apart to escalate after that. I think this becomes part of just, if you really sit down and think the guys that the Niners have on their football team, I think with Kyle Shanahan and the way that 4-3 defense attacks with their pass rush with Javon Hargraves they got from the Eagles as well, I think talent and scheme takes over, and I think their physicality, offensively and defensively, with their ability to play the entire field with all positions on offense. I think they take this from the Bengals, and I think the Bengals lose another Super Bowl um, due to the matchup up front as well on both sides.
Yeah, I love your ending because I am a Kyle Shanahan guy. I love the man because, like you said, he's never had a star quarterback, and he has made it to the Super Bowl with Jimmy G. He has been very successful with Brock Purdy, right? So I would love for him to get a ring. And if he gets a ring, one can argue only for this reason that he is the best coach in football, only because, like you said, he's never had a top flight quarterback. Okay, you look
No,
at Bill Belichick, right? Belichick had Brady. Okay, you look at Andy Reid. Andy Reid got Mahomes. Look at Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin for a while had Big Ben. Who has Kyle Shanahan had? You know what I'm saying? Like Jimmy G is a great game manager, but he's not a star.
no,
Same thing with Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, he's not a star,
nope.
but he looks like one because of Kyle Shanahan. All right, so I would love for that to happen. But for my playoff picture prediction, we start with the AFC, and the AFC, of course, number one is Mahomes. All right, the playoffs go through Arrowhead. I
Yep.
got it. Okay, I'm sold. I got it. They are the number one seed. Number two, due to the schedule, I'm not saying the second best team in the AFC. I got the Jaguars due to their schedule. Okay. For those of y'all that don't know, we made these predictions on a website where you can actually pick the winner of every game throughout the year and then build your playoff picture. So my record for the Jaguars had them at number two. Not saying that they're the second best team, but they're number two. I'm more sold on the Jaguars than you, I think, because I just think that Trevor Lawrence is going up. He's ascending. Right. First year was bad coach, bad team, terrible. Second year, he got Doug Peterson. He looked better, especially in the second half of the season. This year, I'm still expecting that train to go up, right? And then not only that, but the second year in Doug Peterson offense, this year he actually has a number one receiver in Calvin Ridley. Okay, last year they paid Christian Kirk like a number one, but he's not really a number one.
No.
Trevor Lawrence made him look like a number one. I believe he had over 1,000 yards last year receiving. So now that you have an actual number one, I think that offense is going to be very explosive. All right, number three, I have the New York Jets. We both agree they're going to win the division. Okay, and once again, I think I'm more sold on them than you are. I feel like you want to come over here, and I'm gonna give you until Monday night to come over here and join the Jets train. Once you get rolling, you can't jump on. Do not jump on the moving train. Okay, that's the best advice I can give you.
We're going a little too quick on. I think all this pizzazz or this lock Jets to a Super Bowl. I think we need to see a couple. I think they're going to win the division. I think they're going to win a playoff game. But to sit here and lock them in the AFC Championship game or winning the Super Bowl, I think we need to slow our roll a little bit before we see some boys.
I respect it. Before I move forward, last year the Broncos made almost the same exact move the Jets made. I was not sold on the Broncos. I came on the show. I did not think the Broncos was good enough to go and win a championship. So I'm not just a guy that says, okay, you trade for a star quarterback, you're a Super Bowl team. But this year, I think it's a different animal. I believe in the Jets. All right, number four. This might be a shocker to most of y'all. You're a believer, but I'm more of a believer. Okay, I would still win the division. Okay, with the 4th seed in the AFC. All right, I do believe that they will have the same record as the Bengals. I got them both going 13-4. Okay, you can say I'm stretching it, but I don't think I am. Okay, our schedule is pretty weak. I got them 13-4, and I think we're gonna beat. We're going 4-2 in the division, and then we have Cincinnati going 3-3 in the division.
Hey, hold time out real quick. What's over your right and left shoulder, real quick?
That is my favorite team in the NFL.
Okay. Okay. I wanted to make sure that was out there. For calling the AFC North division weak with the Bengals and Ravens and Browns in there, but that's okay. You can keep going. I'm sorry, I won't interrupt.
Am I going to be accused of playing favorites?
I would never.
Playing favorites?
I would.
Okay. I got look, and like I said, I understand y'all might be thinking, okay, like you said, Steelers signs in the back, ha ha ha, whatever. But this is factual. Okay, the defense is legit. Kenny Pickett at the end of last year looked like a starting quarterback in the league. He had like 4-game winning drives in the last couple of weeks of the season. Okay, going into the second year, I expect him to make that year 2 leap, kind of similar to Trevor Lawrence, not to the same. Actually, because Trevor Lawrence only had really half a season good of football. You know
Rookie year,
it wasn't good all year. I see Kenny making that year 2 leap like most quarterbacks. He has the weapons, like you said. He has the defense. So basically, don't make mistakes. Don't turn the ball over, and I think we'll be in good hands. Number 5, I have your beloved Bengals. Okay, I do have them making the playoffs, but the 5th seed. Once again, they're only the 5th seed because I think they're gonna have a worse division record. And the Chargers at number 6. You say the Chargers in the playoffs? I don't think you did. You did not. Okay. I'm going to go with the Chargers in the playoffs. Okay. I think the Chargers offensively is very explosive. And one very underrated move is them getting Kellen Moore from the Dallas Cowboys to run that offense with the Chargers. I do think that Justin Herbert about to have the best year of his career because we saw Dak get a number 1 offense under Kellen Moore. So imagine Justin Herbert under Kellen Moore. I know we both know that Justin Herbert's way better than Dak Prescott. Yep. Number 7, I got the Buffalo Bills. Still got to respect them. I think they dropped to the wild card spot because the Jets are on the scene. Then the first round, I have Jacksonville over the Bills. Okay, I do. You say 7-17, but I just don't think the Bills can outscore Jacksonville. Once again, I think I'm a little more sold on Trevor Lawrence than you are. I'm a little more sold on the offense as a whole than you are. I got Jacksonville winning the first game. And then 3 versus 6, I got the Jets beating the Chargers. Okay, I think we both, like both said, the Jets are going to win a playoff game. Well, you got to win at least one. I got to win more than one. And then the Steelers at home against the Bengals. I love the familiarity of it. Okay, I love the pass rush against Joe Burrow. Yes, Joe Burrow can overcome that. But in Pittsburgh, in the playoffs, T.J. Watt, Alex Highsmith, Cam Hayward, we're coming. Okay?
That one's coming. Yep.
We are coming. And then the next round, Jacksonville will play the Jets. I have the Jets winning on the road in Jacksonville. And then the Chiefs and the Steelers. I think that's where the road ends right there, right in Arrowhead. Okay, unfortunately, the bus stops there. Okay, and then in the AFC Championship in Arrowhead, I have A-Rod going there and taking the W. I do. I love it. I love the Jets defense on the road against Mahomes. People are going to say that it's Aaron Rodgers versus Mahomes, but you and me both know that it's Aaron Rodgers versus the Chiefs defense, which is Chris Jones. Don't get it twisted. Chris Jones will cause havoc, but Mahomes has way more to overcome than Aaron Rodgers. And I think Aaron Rodgers can take care of the ball. They can run the ball pretty well with a two-headed monster and Dalvin Cook and Breece Hall. I do think they can take the win and get to the Super Bowl. All right. And then in the AFC, okay, the AFC, I have my number 1 is the San Francisco 49ers. Okay, I love Kyle Shanahan. I love that team. I do believe that they will be the number 1 seed, but I don't got them going all the way. I got the Eagles going all the way, but number 2, I got Philly. Okay, Philly, we all know last year I don't expect them taking step back. I just don't. I think they'll get better. They're more familiar with each other. Yes, they lost the offensive coordinator, Shane Steichen. I loved him. I wish he would have went to your Texans, actually. I love D'Amico, but I wish I would have got Shane to help C.J. Stroud. And then they lost their defensive coordinator as well and went to Arizona. But I do think you have Jalen Hurts, and great quarterback play can overcome the offensive coordinator loss, in my opinion. Number 3, the Saints. Okay, the Saints won the division, and a weak division, right? And I think they'll get that 3rd spot. And then the 4th spot, I have the Vikings. Okay, only because I'm not sold on Jordan Love. I'm not, and I don't think that the Detroit Lions will have a better record. But I got the Lions at the 5th spot. Okay, so they will be in the wild card round.
Okay.
And then the Seahawks at 6 and Dallas at 7. I have the Eagles beating Dallas first round. Okay, I don't look Dak Prescott, man. This is a conversation for another day, but I am so over it. I'm so over watching Dak Prescott in the playoffs, bro. I'm sorry. Like I said, conversation for another day. We'll talk about it more on Friday. But Dak Prescott just rubs me the wrong way. He's not. I do not trust him in the playoffs at all, especially against a defensive line that Philly has. All right. Then I got the Saints losing at home to the Seahawks. I think Geno Smith can go and get a W on the road against the Saints. I think the Saints get in the playoffs due to a weak division, but that's as far as they're going to make it. And then I have Minnesota and Detroit. I think Detroit gets into the playoffs. And that's, to me, that's a successful year. Get into the playoffs. Okay, first time in a long time, just get to the playoffs, but I don't see them winning the game like you did. I'm a believer, but not that much of a believer. And in the divisional round, I have the 49ers and the Seahawks. I got the 49ers winning that game. Then the Eagles and the Vikings. Got the Eagles winning that game. And then here we go. NFC Championship in San Fran. Logan, last year, I swear to you, I went for the 49ers. I was rooting for them so hard. I had them going to the Super Bowl preseason, right? Then they get to the NFC Championship game. We all know what happened. Brock Purdy gets hurt. The backup gets hurt. At one point, Christian McCaffrey was their quarterback,
Yeah.
right? Just a terrible game. Then the Eagles won. But after seeing Jalen Hurts perform in the Super Bowl, I fear the man. I do. In the Super Bowl, he had one crucial mistake, that fumble, right? But other than that, we can argue that he outplayed Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, he did.
We can make that argument. So having Jalen Hurts and Kyle Shanahan having Brock Purdy, unfortunately, I think that's going to be the difference maker in that game. Okay. Right? Because often he can call the best play. We know he's going to call a great game.
Yep.
But at some point, I need my players to rise above everyone else, right? And I think Jalen Hurts is going to do that. So I got all green Super Bowl. I got the Eagles and the Jets. I haven't decided who I want yet. I know you picked yours, but I'm so scared to pick mine.
You know
today. You know what?
You know who you want to pick.
No, you think you know who I want to pick, bro. But I just think the Eagles as a whole is better than the Jets as a whole.
Okay.
I do. So that's how you know I'm not just favoring Rodgers this whole time, being real. And I think the Eagles are just too much to overcome.
Yep.
I think Aaron Rodgers does get to the Super Bowl, but unfortunately he falls short to Philadelphia. I hope I'm wrong. This is the only time that I hope I'm wrong on this show, because I do want A-Rod to get that ring, man, but the second ring. But unfortunately, I do think that the Eagles will take it all this year. Jalen Hurts will have a bounce-back season. We had a great season last year, but just he's going to get over that hump, which was the Super Bowl last year. All right, next we have our top 3 MVP candidates. Logan, hit me with it.
All right, so I know I've kind of talked down on the Jaguars, and my biggest thing with them is their line of scrimmage battle. I think they are going to win games, kind of how the Lions won last year, the 35-38s, the 42-40s, just shootouts, college Big 12 style football, just shootouts.
Yeah.
And I love Trevor Lawrence. I hate saying that as a Texans fan because he's going to be in that division forever. I have him as my at number 3 for me as my top 3. I think with Doug Peterson calling plays for what he did with Carson Wentz before he got his knee hurt, what he did with Nick Foles numbers wise in the NFL, not NFL, in the Super Bowl, my bad, to knock down Bill Belichick with Nick Foles as his quarterback is impressive. So we know Doug can do it. We know Doug's out there aggressive, going to put up numbers. And at the end of the day, MVP is a numbers battle. You got to make the playoffs. You got to put up numbers. Evan Ingram, Travis Etienne, Bigsby, Zay Jones, Christian Kirk, Calvin Ridley. I mean, insane amount of weapons. And with the team that they play, they will find the mismatch. So I got him at number 3. Number 2, I got your boy Lamar Jackson. I'm big on what their offense can do this year. Okay. I don't think his running game will be necessarily neglected. I think that he will have more explosive runs without having to make necessarily so many moves. Due to, like I said earlier, he has so many more weapons and the most weapons he's had in his entire career. And if you bring an average Joe off the street, if you give him dogs on the outside, it will make him look like a better quarterback than without. And I think the space and the free flow that I think this offense will bring, instead of just bringing in big fullbacks, multiple tight ends, and shrinking the field a little bit, I think it's going to give him a video game-like numbers and taking a little bit from the running game, just because it won't be as necessarily a focus, but passing galore. I think the passing yards will be probably the highest of his career if everyone stays healthy. And then number 1, Patrick Mahomes. I mean, it's no-brainer. I think it should be everyone. I mean, they're the top of the top. You are chasing Patrick Mahomes. You are chasing the Chiefs. As long as he's there, as long as Andy Reid's there, offensive lines like that, Travis Kelce's there, I mean, Mahomes will always be my top dog.
I got you. And you can't go wrong with that. So I'm going to just go ahead and say my number 1 option is Patrick Mahomes. Okay, I really, when I made this list and I was thinking about it, I really did not want to have him up here. I think it's too much of a no-brainer. You know what I'm saying? So just for the fun of it, Logan, give me one more name that you think could be. Let's say Mahomes, God forbid, got hurt week 1. I would
Okay.
say,
Well, if that happens, I didn't have this team in the playoff picture due to the Kansas City Chiefs because they own that division.
yeah,
Uh, so say somehow Mahomes doesn't play this entire year, right? Hope that does not happen. Hope he stays healthy. Hope they
yes,
have a great
yes.
year.
God forbid, yes,
Uh,
yes.
and again, too, I wouldn't be surprised um, with this team. I just haven't seen them do it yet. They have talent everywhere. The Chargers,
Yes,
um,
I agree.
Keenan Allen, Austin Eckler, Gerald Everett, Mike Williams, Johnson on the outside, Slater, Lindsley, good offensive line, and then Justin Herbert, who can make any throw, anytime, anywhere on a football field. I think he's in a similar situation um, schematically as the Cowboys were, and they had the best offense in the league with Dak Prescott, and they spreaded the ball out all over the field. I think Keenan Allen's going to play that slot role that CD played, and then you got two guys on the outside that can make jump balls and make. I wouldn't even call it 50-50 balls with both of those guys. I mean, that's like almost 80-20. I mean, you're getting them the
Yeah,
ball, and then you got Austin Eckler in space. And then you also have Gerald Everett as a tight end who is basically kind of like an Evan Ingram, is pretty much a big receiver that's got his hand in the dirt. Um, I would not be surprised at all if I see Justin Herbert holding the MVP trophy at the end of this year.
I got you. I respect it, and that's exactly who. Same scenario. If there was no Mahomes, Herbert would be in my top three. Okay. Once again, like I said a couple minutes ago, the addition of Kellen Moore to that offense to me is going to make this offense explode. And it was already good, right? And with adding him, because he made Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott's in the number one offense. Like think about that for a second. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not even a fan of Dak Prescott. Not even to the littlest bit. I don't like him at all. But he was scoring a lot of points. His numbers was
Yep.
high, and I think it had a lot to do with Kellen Moore. Right, so Kellen Moore coming to a much more talented quarterback with more talented receivers than Dallas had. His offense is going to be very unstoppable. So Justin Herbert would be in the top three if Mahomes didn't exist. But number three, I'm gonna go with Trevor Lawrence, like you said.
Yep.
Okay. Great minds think alike. I think Trevor Lawrence in that offense. Once again, you're adding number one receiver. He didn't have that last year. Last year, I think Christian Kirk was schemed open. I think due to the great play calling of Doug Peterson. We saw what Doug Peterson did in Philly with Carson Wentz, right? He comes over to Jacksonville, and I think he schemed Christian Kirk open. Christian Kirk is not just a talented receiver to me, right? Now you have a guy that can get open on his own, right? You can throw him the ball if he's
Yep.
covered. I think he can still get that ball. You know what I'm
Oh yeah.
saying? So I think that makes Trevor Lawrence's job a lot easier. And once again, I think he's just going to only get better from here. So that's number three. Number two, someone you did not have on your list. I'm going to go with Jalen Hurts again.
Okay.
Okay? Jalen Hurts, like I said, last year, in the beginning of the year, I was not a believer. I think the Eagles on my pyramid last year was closer to a question mark because I didn't know Jalen Hurts was the guy. I just didn't know. Right? But last year, he shut me up. And then all I heard throughout the year was he has a great O-line. He has great receivers, right? He has a great defense. It's not him. It's just what's around him. But then in the Super Bowl, face to face with Patrick Mahomes, who you just said was the baddest man on the planet.
Yep.
And by the way, on this show, Aaron Rodgers is the baddest man on the planet. Just want to let you know that, okay? Don't you can't call Mahomes the baddest man on the planet. Just future references, okay? Don't do that no more. Okay, come up with a
I'll know
different
about that
name.
one.
You can't do that. Okay, the name's already taken. But against the like you said, the baddest man on the planet, Mahomes, he outplayed him. He outdid him. His defense could not get a stop, Logan. They couldn't. They couldn't stop a running nose that day. But what did he do? He went toe to toe with Mahomes, went shot for shot with Mahomes, and played better than Mahomes, honestly. So with that being said, this year, another year with AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, okay, Quez Watkins. That receiver room didn't lose nobody. Okay, they got the number one tight end still. In the backfield, you got DeAndre Swift, Rashad Penny. It's gonna be curious to see how they use them, but that's still talent around him, and he can do it with his legs. And he can do it throughout the air. So I got Jalen Hurts number two, and then of course, why even talk about it? Mahomes at number one. Okay, I think, and then not only I think his MVP case got a lot bigger now that Chris Jones is not playing for the first. Well, if he doesn't play the first 7 weeks, right? I'm looking at a
Yeah.
lot of high scoring games.
Yeah.
A whole lot because I don't think that KC defense is any
No.
good without Chris Jones. So you're gonna have to outscore people. Now Travis
Yeah.
Kelce being hurt might kind of reverse what I just said to a degree. They still got to score a lot of points, but not having Travis Kelce first 1, 2, 3 weeks, right? He might struggle just a little bit, but throughout the whole course of the year, man, you gotta go with Mahomes. And you see,
Yeah.
look, I don't play favorites because I didn't even put Aaron Rodgers in my top 3 MVP candidates.
Shocking.
All right, you should be proud. You know what
I'm
I'm saying?
very proud because
We could
Patrick
have a
Mahomes.
dark horse though. If we have a dark horse, I would put him up there. Honestly, I think he has a chip on his shoulder. I really do. All right, and you know what we're gonna do? Real quick, really quick. We're gonna do instead of doing our top 10 players, we're gonna do it on Friday. All right.
Okay.
Real quick, we're gonna do our hot seat, our coach's hot seat. We're gonna do that real quick. All right, I planned on those of y'all watching, I plan on doing that on Friday, doing top 10 players today, but because we're kind of over time, we're gonna just flip it. We're gonna do the hot seat today, and then we'll do the top 10 players on Friday. So go ahead and give me what coach has the hottest seat this year, Logan.
The number one, I have Brandon Staley, coach of the Chargers. I think
Yeah.
this roster has been loaded the last 3 years with talent.
Yes.
Insane. I mean, they've had an injury bug, which you can't really plan for. But then you had the debacle that they had in Jacksonville last year. They had no business losing that game. You have Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack, Drew Tranquil, who's now in Kansas City Chiefs, Derwin James, J.C. Jackson, Asante Samuel, Justin Herbert, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Austin Eckler. I mean, the roster is stacked, and we've yet to really see them fulfill that talent. And who do you point the finger to? It's always the head coach. I think he's at the hottest seat. The new stadium, they saw the same. They saw the Rams win in that stadium. I know ownership is not happy right now with the talent. They just paid Justin Herbert, so he's not going nowhere. Brandon Staley's definitely, in my opinion, the hottest seat. Number 2, I have Kevin Stefanski for the Browns. You go out and you trade for Deshaun Watson last year, or maybe a fluke. Here's another team. I mean, you got guys, Myles Garrett, Denzel Ward, Greg Newsome, good safeties, good linebacking core, Nick Chubb. You had Kareem Hunt. Probably the second best offensive line in the NFL. Definitely probably top 3, top 4. You got Amari Cooper. And Stefanski's been there long enough to where, I mean, you should see some strides. Offensive play caller, he was there as an offensive coach. If that offense doesn't produce well, he's another guy because Deshaun ain't going nowhere. Similar situation. I think he's the guy that's going to get pointed the finger. Number 3, and I really love this coach. I think he is a great human being. Ron Rivera. I think this has to tie into new ownership. That ownership team did not hire Ron Rivera. Nothing against Ron as a human being, but even at Carolina, that one Super Bowl year and maybe 1 or 2 playoff appearances, really didn't do much with the talent he had roster-wise. And as a defensive coach and as much first-round picks that they've invested into that defense, their defense is pretty mediocre for the talent that they have. And obviously, they have a Carousel at QB. They brought in Bieniemy. We'll see how Sam Howell is, but I think Ron Rivera, if not this year, and if he sticks around for next year after another bad season, his seat will be smoking hot. And then number 4, kind of a hot take to some people, but I'm going to do it. Bill Belichick.
Wow.
Last year, he decided that to let Matt Patricia and Joe Judge be an offensive coordinator for a young, aspiring quarterback. That was a cluster. What has he done in that division with all those teams in that division getting better and better and better every year? What has he done since Tom Brady has left? He has not drafted well. He's never really drafted well. He has overpaid free agency wise. He is greatest coach of all time. I'm sitting here thinking as the owner, when is he going to pull the plug? Like when is he? He's getting old. I mean, how long are you going to wait to see the Jets revamped to now a great team? The Dolphins, they're now a great team. And as of right now, it's the Bills division. I think the Jets will take it over, but it's been the Bills division the last couple of years. All those teams were not even relevant as Brady was there. Not even close to relevancy. No, it was the Patriots division. They ran through it, and now they've been sitting as the fourth best team, say the last probably 2 years now. And if from what I would predict, definitely another year. So we'll see how that goes. But I wanted to throw in Belichick there to put him on the hot seat. That's my hot seat coaches.
Wow, that was a shocker. You know, you would think that there's a word that I like to use, kind of a loyalty. You know, you would think after delivering 6 Super Bowls, you would think you're a little more loyal to wait. I'm sorry, no, it is 6. Yeah, 6, right? Or 6 or
Tom,
7? It's 6.
Tom won 7 in Tampa Bay. He
Tom
won
got
6.
7, Bill got 6. Boom, yeah. So at the 6 Super Bowl, you would think they'll be a little more loyal, but I got you. You didn't see the Jets pass you up. You didn't see Miami pass you up. The Bills been on your division the past couple of years. I got you. Really, we had the same number 1 coach. Brandon Staley, to me, bruh, you got to get it together. There's so many years I looked at this team and I said, man, offensively, they can run with anybody. Right? And the defense has never been awful. You know, so with that being said, I think they should be a playoff team every single year. They finally got there last year, and they blew what, 27-point lead?
Dude, I turned the game off. I turned it back on, saw that they lost one of them games.
Exactly. That's on coaching. I'm surprised he didn't get fired that day.
Yeah.
I'm really surprised.
Yeah, no
honestly.
kidding.
So Brandon Staley for sure is number 1 on that list. Number 2, I don't think you disagree with me, but you didn't have him on your list. I got Mike McCarthy up there. Okay, the Dallas Cowboys are in a very special situation. To me, they're not a Super Bowl team, and they will never be with that quarterback. Okay, they will never be. But Jerry Jones, he's getting up there in age, right? It's safe to say he has more days behind him.
Yeah,
he doesn't hit him. Okay, it's safe to say that, and he wants a ring so bad. He wants one so bad, and because of that, he's not going to get rid of Dak. We've seen that time and time again. He's not going to get rid of that. He loves that. Okay? Got rid of Jason Garrett, who wasn't a great coach, right? He wasn't great, but I don't think he was awful.
No.
Right? Got rid of Jason Garrett. Then you got rid of Kellen Moore. Okay? I think that's more of a McCarthy decision, right? But I think you had to sign off on it, right? Because that's your team. You get rid of Kellen Moore. So if this year goes bad, and Mike McCarthy, you calling the plays, then you got to go because apparently they've shown time and time again that Dak Prescott not going nowhere. All right, so McCarthy is definitely on the hot seat. Another name I'm going to add to, like I said, I agree with everyone you said, Kevin Stefanski for sure. One more I'm going to add. I'm going to add Dennis Allen for the New Orleans Saints. This division is weak, like we both said. If you don't win the division this year, my man, you got to pack your bags, you got to go.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. And I think that's what it comes down to because last year, you can say they didn't have a quarterback. They didn't. When you got Derek Carr to me can play. Okay, last year, I don't know what happened in Vegas. I don't know. I blame that all on Josh McDaniels. I do. I blame it all on him. All right, but you have Derek Carr now, who Michael Thomas should pray he come back, right? He's fully healthy. He doesn't get hurt. You got Chris Olave. You got AK after the suspension. Okay, you went and got Jamal Williams in free agency. You have a nice offense. You have a quarterback. And the defense, to me, is going to be like it's always been, right? Middle of the pack, close to the top 10, top 12-ish kind of, you know what I'm saying, kind of range. So I think I'm adding this out. But like you said, Ron Rivera, unfortunate, he is. Okay. I would say Todd Bowles, but to me, I think he's getting fired because the team is going to be bad this year. And they're going to pin it on him, unfortunately, right? And you and me had a discussion the other day. We think he's more of a defensive coordinator than a head coach.
I agree.
But, so I'm not even going to say he's on the hot seat because I think his seat is already in flames. So I think he's going to go ahead. He can be out of there by the end of the season, man. But look, that is all we have for today. You know how bad I want to keep talking about sports. We can do this all day long, all night. You know what I'm saying? But we got to go. I will see you again on Friday, Logan. We're going to do our top 10 players. Might do some more hot topics. And then we're going to get our picks because week 1 is here. But how am I going to forget? The Lions play the Chiefs, right? That's this week. That's on Thursday.
This Thursday night, baby.
Yeah, man, you got to make a pick. I'm putting you on the spot right now. You got to make a pick.
Let's do it. Let's see. It's a little different after the news from today.
Travis Kelce, yeah.
Kelsey, recently hearing that. I got the Lions winning. I think they're going to go in Arrowhead and win this game. I didn't at first, but I love Mahomes. I love Andy Reid. I love Travis Kelsey. Chris Jones ain't playing. Travis Kelsey ain't playing. I think a game plan, short week from hearing the Travis Kelsey news. The Detroit Lions on primetime football are going to beat the Kansas City Chiefs in Arrowhead. I love it. I'm here for it. I want it to happen.
You know what?
Would I be
I might have to co-sign on that. I might have to.
I got the Lions 34-28. I think it's going to be a high. I think the 34-28. I got the Detroit Lions winning. I think the Travis Kelsey injury is going to hurt them on a game plan basis. And I think the new additions on the Lions are going to show out with some rookies and some free agency signings. I think they're going to do it. I think Detroit Lions are going to win that football game.
Yep, and I agree with you. I'm going to co-sign on that. I was leaning towards the Lions week 1 after hearing the Chris Jones news. Right? Now, with Travis Kelce out, I'm going to go ahead and lean more towards the Lions. So I'm picking the Lions week 1 as well. And you know what's going to happen? The Lions going to win week 1, and ESPN ain't going to say it. Are they going to the Super Bowl? Yes or no? They're going to do it. You know how people overreact. They're going to, no matter, you know Travis Kelce hurt, you know Chris Jones hurt, but this Lions train is going to move very, very fast after week 1.
It will.
It will. Very unfortunate. But that is it for today, y'all. It's your boy Jay Best and your man Logan. We will see y'all on Friday. I'm out.
See ya.